I wanted to tag on to something else that Max was talking about in regards to kind of like network news and large media. You were talking about CNBC and like the top and them talking about the price of Ripple and shilling shit coins. I actually did a post-mortem 2 years after Brian Kelly went on the air and did his well-diversified crypto portfolio. And it was straight up trash. And so his breakdown, it was like 30% Bitcoin. I think it was 15% Ethereum, 15 Ethereum Classic for some godforsaken reason. And it was like whatever the hell else. I think metal was one of the like 5%ers in there. Anyways, so I took his well-diversified portfolio 2 years after. I said, okay, well, what happened to you if you put 10 grand into this at the moment this released? And so I went through the numbers. I said, okay, you took 10 grand right now in dollar terms. And this was like last summer, but you were at $13,000. I was like, okay, well, not bad. But let's break that down a little bit more and let's see where those gains came from. All of it was Bitcoin. All of it. Literally everything. The only ones that broke even, I think, were Monero and like one other. It might have been Ethereum. I don't, maybe not even. It was, but two coins like just barely broke even, and everything else lost. I shit you not, like 90 to 95%. You got destroyed on everything else you put your money into. And so, and then I did the opportunity cost. So yes, you were up 300 or 3,000 bucks on your 10 grand. But what if you had put it into just Bitcoin? You lost half the Bitcoin you could have had. 50% of your sats out the fucking window if you had listened to Brian Kelly and your well-diversified portfolio. So there's real cost to these shitcoin shilling networks that are out there saying that everything has merit just because there's a bunch of techno babble surrounding it. So I think, I guess to the point where we're talking about us trying to push out good information, and the few people that are out there actually doing it on network news. Again, Max, thank you for being, being one of those people that are helping with the Bitcoin cause. And again, like Pomp is out there whenever he is in an interview, like people are like, well, you're talking about altcoin. He'll be like, well, I'm talking about Bitcoin right now. I know there's associations outside of that, but when he's on network news, he's like, I'm talking about Bitcoin. So it's nice to see. We need more of that, honestly. We need more people that can go out there, can sit on a network and say, this is why this is worth your attention and why this is trash. And we're not going to get it for a while. It'll seep in, but people like to gamble, and you're going to continue to see that until it becomes just blindingly clear that it is gambling with everything else. So I don't know. It'll take some time, but
I don't know that the gambling's ever going to stop. I mean, Max, he said it so well, that the options market is this generation's Vietnam. And it's just, I mean, this shit doesn't change, and people are going to, continue to just get annihilated and wrecked. And the more that it's encouraged, it's going to continue.
Well, look, in the fullest sense of things, okay. In 2011 we started. Now in 2012, 2013, we started to see things like Ethereum, and they really launched on Kaiser Report, and other projects came on Kaiser Report. And we were of the thinking at that time, we went through that Brian Kelly thinking that, well, the industry as a whole can be supported. And around 2014, 2015, I had a coming to Satoshi moment where I realized that it's not all roads don't go to Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin goes to Bitcoin. And I became a hardened maximalist And I came to that after going through, I mean, admittedly, going through, you know, a period where I was not as a maximalist as I was today. But that came, everyone on this call is talking about 2015, 2016, you know, that's, I had already come and left that learning part of the learning curve. I had already been through it and realized that one of the dangers of the altcoin universe is that they're funding themselves by printing a lot of shitty coins, which can buy influencers, they can buy tweets, they can buy conferences, they can buy a lot of shit that is flashy. And the CNBC is stupid, and they're blind and dumb, and they don't know how to tell one thing from the other. I mean, they've had Jim Cramer on for 30 years. If you add up all of his stocks and buys and sells for 30 years, you'd be losing money. That they don't seem to care. But so therefore it just became more, I had that moment where I realized that I was not servicing the Bitcoin the way I can and the way I should by stepping off that path now. So I'm like arch maximalist. If I'm on Twitter now, I'm guns blazing, and I, you know, go to war with everybody now. But I had to go through a learning curve like anybody else. So that's the fact. Like, I had to learn the hard way like everybody else. I don't think anyone's going to ever learn the easy way. I think everyone's going to go through this whole shit. Hopefully people learn their lesson and they survive. And they don't get completely blown out of the water and you never hear from them again. Some people actually, if I may continue talking here, I don't want to hog the call, but some people, in my view, actually kind of freaked out and went crazy. You know, some well-known people in this space, I would classify as a little bit on the crazy side, because they developed messiah complexes, and they're like, my vision for this hard fork is I am Satoshi, right? People actually believing that they are Satoshi with a hard fork. I mean, that's crazy stuff, and that's dangerously crazy. And that needs to be addressed. I don't think it's enough to just ignore it so much as we got to name it, shame it. And somebody said that we're entering a hardened battle phase now of Bitcoin. The states are looking at it. Do you think America is going to be happy if Iran gets 20% of the hash rate? No, they're not going to be happy one bit. So, you know, the big battles are coming, in my opinion.
Max, you're on the front lines with those guys, and one by one they're getting picked off. You're like one of the last ones left. How does it feel?
Well, I'm happy, because the lessons that Bitcoin teaches you are ultimately very important life lessons, like humility and things like that, where I've had to just realize that, I mean, in 2011, the Kaiser report was the only source of Bitcoin information for several years. Also in the altcoin space, when the whole market cap was maybe in total $50 million. That was the total market cap of the entire universe. You know, I mean, it's a power trip to tweet and say, oh, Potcoin looks cheap, and watch it triple. I'm not going to lie. That's a very euphoric feeling. But at some point you realize, you know what, this is really damaging to this mission of what Bitcoin's trying to do. So I had to say, I had to change course and realize I was not positively doing what I needed to do for this thing. And that's what happened. So, we try to, you know, I'm always now looking for new folks, new voices, new maximalists, new projects. And we always get them on there on the Kaiser Report. I think we got like 1,600 episodes we're working on, probably 400 or more episodes we've featured Bitcoin in some way or another. And it's usually all over the world, right? Some talented, some new project. And anyway, I hope
so if